Hey guys, it's Gummer here with another Warhammer Battle Report. So this one is against Dark Elves. Use my Orcs and Goblins from pretty much from the last Battle Report, the last Orc Battle Report. Slight changes just around adding another Wolf Rider regiment in for some Blood and Glory fortitude points. Played a guy, this is at what we call Hobby House, a local house in my area. The two guys there, I think they were coming on 10 days straight of Warhammer they've been playing. So yeah, one of them invited me around for a game, practicing for this tournament. I think I'm leaning to Orcs, so even though my success rate's pretty low, but they are pretty fun. Anyway, we rolled up Dawn Attack, and it's 2,400 points. Let's just get into it. I'm not going to go through the list. I'll just go through them in deployment. So he's running Marathi. So he's gone with 2 of Dark and 2 of Death. And he's got a level 2 of Metal. So I think his tweet pretty much sums it up. Rolled up Final Trans, Black Horror and Purple Sun against Gummo's Orcs and Goblins. This might be quick. I got the 3 big bar that you generally want, Brain Bursts, and rolled up the Brain Burst as well, which is not too bad. Although I probably won't have any dice for it. My level 2 has Magic Missile and the armor piercing spells, so that's not too bad. So for deployment, I rolled to deploy first, and I'll just run through it. So this is the one where you have to deploy left, right, or centre. So I've got a Rock Lobber and a Mangler out on the left. So it's just such a bit of a mess deployment because of it. Some Wolf Riders ended up on the left centre here. I've got a Rock Lobber, trying to space them out as much as I could because I wasn't sure where they were going to land. The pump wagon there. So the other thing, I have pimped up the pump wagon a little bit, so it does have the spiky rollers and the sail, whatever that one's called. Another Doom Diver. My general's in the middle, and the small bunker Night Goblins with the level 2 is in front of him. But over on the right, it got a bit full, so the Trolls ended up there, the Savages behind them, with my level 4. Well, I should just because it's the dark board, I have labelled some of them. The BSB and my level 4s in the Savages. And over there you can't really see him. There's also my Wolf Rider Big Boss. He's squished in that deployment zone somewhere. And my other unit of Wolf Riders. So both Wolf Rider regiments or units both have standards for fortitude, but I need to get that magnetised on actually before the tournament. So his deployment, he ends up with a lot over to the right, and he ends up with Marathi right over on my left. That's her there. You can see 2 assassin models just waiting to come on. He's got a repeater bolt throw up on the hill. Some Corsairs. There, in the Corsairs, actually, the level 2 metal sorceresses in there as well. Now I think there's 12 sisters or something like that. Maybe 15, 16 Witch Elves, something like that. There's about 20 something Blackguard, another repeater bolt thrower, and a couple of units of Dark Riders. So he doesn't steal first turn, so I get to go first. So we have some animosity issues, which I'll show in the next slide. Over here, my random move is just move up. I send them both forward pretty much. Just I'll bring them back if Marathi or someone's harassing or whatever. Otherwise, I'll send them forward. So what happened was my Wolf Rider, my Night Goblins failed animosity, had to charge, and they, I didn't show you the Vanguards actually. Those Dark Riders then were in range for a charge, so they charged. The Dark Riders fled, so they just moved forward, and then. Yeah, they rolled the 6, the one where they get to move and then have to declare a charge. So that's what they've done. So now they can operate normally, except the Wolf Riders on the left failed their animosity and squabbled with them. And so they've lost a couple of guys already. So I just go backwards. And yeah, so I've moved the Trolls up. The Savages are coming down off the hill. And my Wolf Riders have gone up to really stare at the Dark Riders, maybe get a few bow shots off. And nothing much here, this is just showing the Dark Riders running away. So my magic's 7 to 5. I throw 2 dice and a magic mushy at Vindictive Glare. Just gets to shoot the Dark Riders straight in front of me. He dispels that. And then I Hand of Gork the Night Golems up to trigger the Fanatics, but I roll like a 3 and a 4, so I don't go far enough to kill those Dark Riders. So that was a shame. And then we talked about this before the game. I was coming over. I knew I was playing Dark Elves with Marathi, so I thought, what do you do with your artillery? Do you try to take out the fast cav and the weak elves? But with Purple Sun, Black Horror, it was really just everything I got. I've just got to try and hit her and see if she can fail the ward. So I fired 2 Doom Doves and 1 Rock Lobber that can actually see her. And great artillery, totally miss. And I have 1 Rock Lobber left just to shoot at rank and file, so I go for the Witches, take a bunch of them out. Now he's first turn, so he moves up the Dark Elves, the Dark Riders. You can see, so he's got 1 unit in front of the Trolls, and the other unit rally and come back around behind my Night Goblin bunker. And yeah, his regiment's moving up, which he wants to fight, and I guess I'm happy to give it to him, but we'll see how we go. Marathi, I just highlighted so you can't really see. She's come around that side, shoot some magic. And he gets 10 to 6 magic phase, so he threw Summit Spirit Leech on my Rock Lobber, and I just threw all my... I don't throw all my dice, can't remember. Anyway, I just spilled that. Then he final transes a bunch of my savages off. He did miscast, so he gets a wound on his level 2, so she's down to just 1. But he took off 9 of my savages, which wasn't great. And you can see some of the Corsairs getting taken off too with the miscast. He opens up repeated bolt throw on my Pumpy. Just 1 wound there, so I dodged a bullet there probably. And then these Dark Riders just take out a Fanatic, which I'm quite happy for him to do. So my turn too. So I don't know, see, there's not much I can do about Marathi flinging stuff around there, so I just head both of them. My night, what is it? The Pump Wagon and the Mangler towards his lines there, and the Wolf Riders don't fail animosity since there's only 4 of them now. So they head off towards repeater bolt thrower number 1. Now this is debatable here. I was like, what do I do? So I go bugger it. I send the Trolls into the Dark Riders, and they actually held. I sent Azhag model, the Wyvern, into his other Dark Riders, and he fled, and I deliberately then redirected him into the other Dark Riders, which he can't fit. So that way he just failed, and he didn't end up being on the wrong side of the Savages. The Savages have moved up, and I've moved my Night Goblins to redirect his sisters, but the Witch Elves, like I don't, and I charge my Night. You can see my Wolf Rider boss, not Wolf Rider boss, my single lone Wolf Rider who's left after some shooting. He actually charges the repeater bolt thrower right up there on the top right. We'll come back to that. Very bad thing, but anyway. And I've moved my Goblin Wolf Rider boss down the bottom here to sort of get over near my other war machines, maybe just protect them. Well, that's what I was thinking at the time, anyway. So I can't remember what the actual magic was, but I get hand. I threw it double 6s, and I plonk him on top of the sisters, and then proceed to roll about 5 or 6 1s, 5 1s maybe in wounding. So I did take out a bunch, but really that unit should have been deleted or close to it. And shocking dice rolls stopped that. In terms of wounds, what did I do? I think I don't think I even got a wound on I escaped. I don't think I got a wound, so I either rolled a 1 to him myself or warded it or something. So shooting, so I've lost a Doom Diver from a misfire, and then the other 3 go up Marathi, and like great Goblin accuracy, I'm talking about 10-inch scatters, and so I've had six shots with her. and the only thing I did, I think, was one or two rock lobber hits, but not hits, just like strength 3, and she's either shrugged it off or warded it. So very disappointed that I didn't even get a chance to see if I can make him roll a ward. But anyway, that's what you get. Frustrated with my artillery, I tell you. Anyway, obviously I take out those 5 Dark Riders, and then because of my stupid Savage Orc positioning, I couldn't even reform without getting a flank, so I went, look, they're going to die. So with a bit of advice from a standby player as well, we went wide. Yeah, this is the bad bit of the game, but anyway. And I couldn't escape getting a picture of 8 trolls lined up. Yeah, so it's Elf turn 2 here, Dark Elf turn 2. You can see my Wolf Rider still up there against the repeated bolt throw. He's survived 1 or 2 rounds of combat. He's been winning. Oh, he won on the charge, but then yeah, he's a banner actually. So I think he's actually been winning, but they've obviously been passing their break test. The sisters come into my Night Goblins, and yeah, get a double charge on my trolls with the Witch Elves and the Blackguard. Corsairs have just moved forward towards my War Machines. Marathi lines up here. She can get a Purple Sun down if she wants to get 3 War Machines. Magic, yeah, 12 to 6. Spirit Leeches my Doomdiver. Off it goes. And then I scrolled Purple Sun. And that was probably about it. There might have been some other random bits. Anyway, the Bolt Thrower up here takes out 4 of my Wolf Riders. Why do I keep calling them Night Goblins? And again, passed the panic test. So the Wolf Riders have actually been quite brave. The fact that I'm forgetting they got standards on has really killed me as well in this game, considering the way this scenario for Dawn Attack's being played is you get victory points. You can only get 15 battle points in actual. It's a 15-0 system technically, and then you get 5 battle points for other objectives, and some of the objectives are getting banners in your deployment zones. So I've got 2 Wolf Riders up here, which could have been hiding behind buildings and popping out in the last turn. But anyway, not that guaranteed it, because the RBTs could have taken them off. So it actually didn't do too bad. I think he killed a couple of gobbos, and I may have even killed one of his, but I was steadfast and I stuck. But here, not so good. Although not so bad. They didn't wipe them off. They killed 2 on this side, 2 on the other side. And even just before Trolls, I did a bunch of wounds back, but because of the ranks and the charges, I ended up being down by 3 or something. Or 4 maybe. So it was a leadership 5 rerollable. Failed it. Sorry. And yeah, overruns into my savages and my war boss. And it's becoming very evident. One of the other things obviously we'll talk about it with redirects and stuff, but the redirect of the hand that I did on the Mangler probably would have been better to get my savages up earlier, because they could have prevented some flank charges potentially. So yeah, I got no movement this in my turn 3. So I just 6 dice. Here we go, and get it off. And yeah, so in this Witch Elf combat, we win. I mean, he maybe does a few wounds. It looks like, yeah, he's knocked a wound on my Shaman there. And Shadowblade's popped out and killed a few Orcs, I think, but we do 1 wound to him and kill a bunch of Witch Elves. So he's down to 2 Witch Elves and a Champion plus Shadowblade. So we reform just to get some more ranks. And yeah, this didn't go too bad either. I mean, considering. I think I did get a hit on the assassin did get a hit on my war boss, but I warded it luckily, because he's got the D3 wounds. And then, yeah, whatever happens, I can't remember if it's the Blackguard or the assassin or both, but the Wyvern gets 3 wounds on it, so it's down to 2, so it's not long for this world. We do 3 back. I think I rolled a 1 or a 2 for the number of stomps, so that was very annoying. So he's elf turn 3, he's moving his Lothern just for more forward to try and get to rock lobbers if he needs to. But apart from that, there's no real movement. He gets 9 to 5 in the magic phase. I think he goes for enchanted blades again, and I throw everything to stop it. I think, just because I don't want him having. He was for that last round of combat, he was hitting on 2s, so we'll stop that. Thanks. He final transes off my rock lobber, so hashtag take it off. Needing a 6, and he got it. Marathi had charged into this other rock lobber, so she finishes them. And finally, my night goblins, the sisters did what they're supposed to do, did a bit more damage and broke my night goblins, but they did run away. So my shaman's so far alive, but they're on double ones now. And my into the combat, my savages beat up on the remaining wood elves and shadowblade and kill them. And reform, and then in my turn 4 I charge the blackguard, so not too bad. On my last turn you can see my wyvern's dead, so obviously the assassin or the blackguard get it down. You can see another 5 blackguard though are behind there, so we're getting through them, just not fast enough. What have we got here? Oh yeah, and you can see my boss on the on my wolf has gone into the rear of the sisters. He's got the 2 up ward against flaming, and they've got a flaming banner. So again, would have been good to use him as a redirector on the sisters. Anyway, that's what you get. So just what's going back here? Yeah, just said that the wyvern's dead. That's cool. Doesn't work though. He whiffs his attacks, and they reform to face him. They lost the combat, but it didn't matter. They held. So that plan's gone south. We do get here we go again. Here we go up again. 6 dicing it. So that's good. And yeah, I mean we do a bunch here. So we've got he's down to his assassin. We also got we've killed his assassin because it was an unpainted figure. My war boss is down to 1 wound, and there you can see he's got 6 blackguard left. The Lothern Seaguard turn around and get close to my fleeing night goblins, and Marathi's coming up for a purple sun, which he gets off and goes through. He misses his unit because he doesn't want to kill any more than he's got there. I think he takes about 6 off. My BSB escapes with the lookouts. So I think it was about 6. But in my turn 5, I roll Snake Eyes for the rally here, so I was able to rally and reform to face Marathi. Now, at some other point, she's miscast again, so she's down to 1 wound, and so that's not too okay. My poor Wolf Rider guy's dead, and the sisters have over on that. So I throw 6 dice at Vindictive Glare, trying to get 3d6 strength 3 hits on her, just to see if I can sneak one through, and that's my roll with 6 dice. So that's how you do it, guys. Awesome. So that didn't do anything. As a result, he has enough dispel dice to dispel. Here we go. So now I'm running naked with buffs. So combat. I don't know what happened in combat. I'm pretty sure my war boss died, which is what happened. His turn 5, he charges in on them, so they're not going to live long. And Marathi lines up here again. See what he can do. He only gets 4 for magic. Being a bit greedy though, he 1 dice is Power of Darkness, and he rolled a 1, so I escape a purple sun there, or a black horror, or whatever it'll be. And you can see it looks like he's popped the last wound off my shaman, so that's gone, but he's down to 2, and I've still got about 5 or something, plus my BSB. Okay, that's the end of combat on his turn 5, so he's down to 1 now. I look at it. My turn 6, the only thing was to kill that last blackguard, which I do, and I reform. So I've got a champ. I've pretty much just got the full command at the front and my BSB. And he comes in with his Lothern Seaguard and his sisters. Yeah, they are there, and they kill. The sisters kill all the Savage Orcs. Leave my BSB. my BSB makes his saves or whatever he needs to do, but he's not a Snake Eyes, but whatever he was on, maybe it was a 5 or something, I can't remember, but I passed my break test, and he holds. So that's the end of the game. So it was almost a tabling, but it wasn't quite. So it was a 4.5 to 5.5 victory. It was about a 1,000-point difference. Marathi was sitting on 1 wound. I mean, geez, if I could have got the sisters and Marathi, then it would have been a lot closer. But also just even the victory points. I mean, yeah, it's a butt kicking still, but I don't know, I was happy with how it went because his army was pretty smashed up too. So that was not too bad. And considering my war machines did absolutely nothing, they killed the grand total of I think about 5 witch elves or something out of having that much rare, which is a shame. So they definitely didn't make up their points. I mean, this is the part that killed it for me too. I mean, not using redirectors properly. I need to get better at this. So, charging that repeated bolt throw up there just really was a waste of time. I mean, that that Wolf Rider in turn 2, I think it's turn 2, would have been in perfect position just to plonk in front of that house there to stop his witches charging. And if they charged, at least they would be overrunning into the house and at least needing another turn to reform. And then there's my goblin big boss there could have easily been sneaking in between these combats to redirect again the sisters or whatever, and he's got a 2-up ward against them. Just to allow my trolls enough time to get rid of these Dark Riders and get over to the Blackguard. And seeing how good they went against the Blackguard, I probably would have been happy. It would have been a drawn-out combat because they're stubborn, but they would have survived. And having them around a little bit longer, my savages could I thought they could have easily cleaned up the sisters and the witch elves. So it was a bit of a shame, a bit of a learning experience. I haven't played Dark Elves much, but yeah, it was fun actually. It was a really good game. It was good to actually get some combat in. So anyway, hope you enjoyed another battle report for this week, and I'll see you soon.